Hi guys, today we are out at Bellevue House, one of the mansions owned by Ronald Fleming in Newport, Rhode Island. And they've got a large ornamental pond, and we're doing a mass planting of tropical water lilies. And just want to show you how to properly transplant, fertilize, care for a tropical lily, because tropical lilies, if you're not familiar with them, are big feeders and they're flowering machines. But a little extra TLC at the beginning will make sure that they're cranking out flowers all summer. So let's go check up, see what Olivia is working on. Okay, so these are the tropical water lilies. Olivia's up potting. Say hi, Olivia.
Hello.
We're working here, and just want to show you some of the pots. A lot of times when you get in water plants, they are in very small pots. I don't know if you can see some of these. Were relatively small to begin with, and they want some space to grow well. They want some space. They definitely want some lots and lots of fertilizer. So what we're doing here is Olivia's potted everything up. We do everything in just good rich topsoil. Doesn't need to be anything special. We just use the Agway topsoil. Works beautifully. But she's going to be using a combination. Go ahead, Olivia, you can start doing your thing. We're going to start doing two different pots. Two different types of fertilizer. Right now you can see it's a tablet. Those are quick release. The only difference with tablet fertilizer for water plants is they're a quick fix, but you got to do it every month. So right now we're making holes. She's putting one tablet in each hole, and we're just going to give it about 3 tablets. It's just for a quick shot of fertilizer. But this is what we predominantly use for everything. This is a once a year fertilizer. You can see as she's putting it in it, it's a granule. So it's just typically it calls for between a 1 and 3 gallon pot, about 3 to 5 scoops. But tropical lilies are such big feeders that we're going to be going through and doing 5 scoops per lily. But that's going to slow down, and that's a little bit slower release, but it's going to last the year. Last thing we want to do is have to get into these lilies while they're in the pond and give them a little extra fertilizer every month throughout the season. So right now, because we're up potting them, we're transplanting them, we're going to give them a little shot in the arm with the tablet fertilizer, and then we're going to load them up with the slow release. Couple things to note when doing this is when we start off, we fill the pot up. One, you never plant your plants deeper than they are in the pot that they were growing in. So we're only bringing the soil up right to there. Also, we want to sandwich the fertilizer. So what we're doing is we're going to go in, we're going to make a hole, and we're not going quite down to the bottom. We're just getting in there. We're putting our fertilizer in there, and then we're going to sandwich it and make sure that that fertilizer is good and sandwiched in the soil, because you got to remember that green water in your pond is just another plant. And if your fertilizer leaches out into the water, it's going to fertilize green water, and you're going to be pea soup green. So let's go functionally. That's all you need to know. Now we're going to go take a look in the back and see what's going on at the pond. Okay, so let's take a look now what's going on out at the pond. We put this pond back in 2008, and we like lots of color. So at this time there's about 40 large tropical lilies that we were just potting up are being released, and just want to describe to you what's going on in here. We've got some hardy lilies, difference between hardies and tropicals. Those hardies come back every year, but they'll flower about 6 or 8 weeks out of the year. But all these tropical lilies that we're placing in are just flowering machines, and they'll flower non-stop for about now. They're already flowering now. Within a few days the flower buds will stop popping up, but they will flower non-stop clear through frost. It's not uncommon for us to come shut down a pond and find out that all the leaves have died off, but there's still a flower bud right underneath the ice. But you'll see a couple things I want to talk to you about. Placement of lilies. When when you're placing the water lilies down, you're going to notice, like with this one here, ideally if you can put them up on cinder blocks and keep them shallow, you can see that the leaves are all kind of misshapen, some of them are broken. This is common. It's not ideal. If you can, like these over here, if you can get this one shallow and right underneath the water surface, they'll adjust and the leaves will flatten out and fold out on their own pretty fast. But at the same time, it's not always ideal. By the textbooks, you're supposed to put them on cinder blocks and slowly drop them down to a couple feet deep if necessary. But we find that if you're giving them enough fertilizer and patience, you just place them all at once. I mean, there's 2 or 3 lilies in here that you probably can't even see because all the foliage is underwater. Within 24 hours, all those pads will have floated up to the surface. We'll come back in a few days and any of the broken leaves or whatnot, we'll clean those up. But I just find that they rebound faster this way. And it's most practical. Most of us don't have the patience to come in here and drop it, especially on a large pond like this where we're planting so many lilies. But in this area here, this pond, it's a big pond. It's massively filtered. You'll have to excuse the water right now. It's all murky because we've been doing some cleaning and they had some flooding issues. But within a couple days, all these lilies are going to be floated up to the surface. And within, I'd say 4 or 5 days, all the flower buds are going to stop floating to the surface also. And all summer long, there is just going to be hundreds of blooms. If you properly fertilize a tropical lily, it's going to give you anywhere from 5 to 7 buds at any one time. And they're just flowering machines. So no pond in my mind is complete without a few tropical lilies for constant color. Hope this helps. Take care.